welcome to the live chat. If you're like me, you had to wonder, am I alive this morning? Yeah, I am. Uh, I haven't been up long. Uh, I woke up at 3. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We got glasses fixed here so I can see. Good morning. Woke up at 3 and good morning, guys. And I could not go back to sleep. I laid there and I tossed and turned. Good morning, little girl. Come here and say something. Say good morning to everybody. Here, little dirty Verdi, I call her. Little Verdi. Uh, all right, good morning, Sarah. I say good morning, Bear, Ronnie, Shauna, Chris, Marie, Connie Hill. Good morning, Melissa, Jennifer, Diane, uh, Leslie or something like Hatari. Good morning, Loretta, First Peggy Irwin. Good morning, Lisa, Mary Beth, Lisa Homestead. Good morning there, Lisa. Sue Chapman. Good morning. Annette, Patty, Cindy, Cowgirl L. Good morning. Rose Marie. Good morning. Reba Studdard. Good morning. Deborah Barnes. Dot. They're going kind of fast. Good morning, Steve. Rocking and rolling there in Tennessee, he said. That storm system's worked its way up there. Uh, it played a number over here in Louisiana with Ronnie and them that came through there, and tornado was real close, and him and his wife, and I'm sure Taco had to go hunker down in the bathroom. She let Ronnie come in during the storm. Didn't make her stay in that outhouse with the chickens. It probably would have blown away. But now they did okay. Wasn't right on top of them. It was close. Uh, Ronnie said they had another one last night. It's been clear here. Hello, Michelle. Uh, Good morning, Diana. Uh, Good morning, William. There's no Big Will. There's no Big Will. He's on board this morning. Hey, I hope you're feeling, buddy. Good, buddy. Uh, Will had that second surgery, and he's chomping at the bits to get outside and get going doing something, but he's on light duty, so all he can do is just let their little fingers do that trash talking me. That's all he can do. Uh, I had a lot of fun with them guys. It's always at my expense. I'm the one getting abused. Uh, Ricardo, good morning there. Kate, Kathy, uh, names slipping by. Uh, Carol Kadesi, good morning. Uh, Everybody telling Ricardo good morning. He's a nice guy. Ricardo's a nice guy. I think he's off on Monday, so he may still be with us. He don't have to go to the restroom at 8 o'clock like he does at work. Morning, Wood Dog. Buster, good morning. My boys came out here on the front porch with me. Good morning, Mary from Murfreesboro Borough. Good morning up there. Good morning, Santa Fe there, Kathy. Come through there last night in Santa Fe. Wow. Um, we've had actually good weather. Yesterday it was kind of rainy off and on. Not rainy, but cloudy and clear, cloudy, clear all day long. It was nice. So I took the boys back to the camp. All four of the little boys. You know, uh, little man out there. He went also. He had to go. Um, I made a video. It'll come out, I think, tomorrow, something like that. But us back there. Ben's here today, and Ben and I got some things we want to get done, and uh, actually quite a bit of stuff lined up for Ben and I. Ben and I. Somebody got to be in charge, you know. Somebody. Good morning, Bob. Uh, started the storm started at 2 o'clock. Sue said. I guarantee you, old Hank. Hank didn't go out, did he? Hank didn't go out in that storm. Uh, I don't see no smoke. This is kind of a hazy morning here. I don't know about the smoke. No smoke here. But sometimes these guys burn these old hay piles. That's what's left of the old hay residue. And it'll linger, smoke and linger around here overnight. But I don't smell smoke. That's just a haze, I think, this morning. It's kind of just a foggy type haze. Uh, uh, Patty says her rain started in California. That's where a lot of it does start, coming off that Pacific out that way, you know, or the Pacific Northwest and comes down to us, you know. Uh, and a lot of it ours comes out of the Gulf also. It builds up out there, little low pressures and stuff, and work their way across or up into us, you know. And those are the ones that we worry most about, that as far as our rain, because they'll sometimes have a punch. I mean, they come in hard sometimes, and they don't move fast. And they just drag across and just dumping all kinds of rain. Those are the ones we worry about. At least it's going to be those storms after 8 tonight. Uh, awesome week in Rocky Mountains. I bet so. I bet so. We was at Dan's last night uh, for supper. A great supper. And I ain't gonna talk about it because that's his video. But Steph was telling us about, she got a bunch of plants left over. She said, I plant too many plants, seedlings, every year. I keep telling myself don't, but she said I do. So she's offering tomatoes and peppers and whatever else anybody wants to come get. You know, and I said, well, look, I haven't had no luck with my pepper plants. Do you have any Tabasco? She said, yes, I do. I said, I'll come get some Tabasco today for my garden. And my little tomatoes are looking okay. But if she's got some big ones, I might go ahead and get 3 or 4 of them and put them out. And maybe some jalapeno. Go ahead and get them in my garden. Oh, Dan's wanting to start a garden. Dan's got the garden fever. I don't think Dan's ever planted a garden. I don't think. He may have. But he got the garden fever. Uh, and he wants to start him one. He's talking about all about it. And he says, what do I do about this and what do I do about that? And he's not going to plant it just in the ground, like Steph, or I used to. He's going to do some kind of raised bed system, but he didn't know exactly what he wanted to do. And they're telling him to come over and look at mine. And he was thinking mine are like that all the way to the ground, like over 3 foot all the way to the ground. He said, what do you put in the bottom of it? I said, they're not like it. They're up high, They finally got done. He finally clicked, though, Dan. But I think he's going to do something, lower for himself. But his old knees are all right. And Lou wants to do stuff, too. So that's going to be neat, watching him grow a garden. Don't be nice to them, Steve, because they'll start it any time. They'll just start it. It builds up in them. Steve telling Roddy and Will good morning. I slurped my coffee. I apologize. It's my first cup. First cups I slurp. Maybe second, third. I don't know. I never paid no attention to it. I never paid no attention. Do I slurp? Had a great weekend. I know you are, Steve. You're a good man. Steve's a good man. Steve's a gardener. He's gardener, a master gardener, I call him. Uh, but I was telling uh, Dan, I said, look, there's a bunch of guys well, a couple on my channel gardeners. So you may tune in and learn something. I'll be all right, Dan. I'll be all right. But he will be. There's enough people in there that can help him along, and I'm excited to see what him and Lou do. It's, like I said, it's their first garden, I think. Uh, uh, Kim has a garden every year, and uh, Jamie has a garden. Oh, talk about Jamie and Steph. I know they're going to start talking about me, guys. Any moment, they're going to start talking about how scruffy I look, or something. There'll be something. There'll be something. I can't get by with it. But Jamie wants to get some bees this year, according to Steph. And Steph wants to get some more bees. And I said, well, I may go ahead and buy me another package of bees too, because I had good luck right off of my trap, but then all of a sudden they just haven't been back. And so I said, if it stays too long, I'm going to take it down and clean it out and rebait it, because other bugs and stuff will go in. And yeah, boys, that's right. I have found not to argue with them two guys, because they feed off each other. They feed off each other. One comes up with something nasty about me, and the other one wants to make it nastier. It's like this. That's okay. I've been called everything at one time or another, mostly sweet. Yeah, there's sweet PawPaw here, and there's sweet Jimmy, sweet Steve, sweet Ricardo. I want to call Ronnie and Will sweet. It's just hard. It's hard to it. Yeah, Sweet Bear. Uh, oh yeah, somebody talking about moving, and Patty's got 9 rescue cats. We talk about anytime we have to. Uh, yeah, Ricardo. Will may have one. In fact, I sent him a picture last night of a lady that would be good for him. You ever watch these reels? There's some crazy reels out there, and I forwarded one on the Will, hoping he might try to contact her for her to be his nurse. She'd get him well, I guarantee. But we may get some bees. I'm gonna contact them today and see what the earliest date is we can get them. But I don't want to wait too late up in the year. I'm gonna get more bees. I'd like to get them in April, no later than middle of May. No later than that. And what you do, you can buy a regular hive out here, a few miles out. It's a big, what do they call them places? Do be apiaries or whatever, uh, something like that. But you can buy a regular hive and just come home and set it up and be out of it. But they're expensive. Or you can buy, it's what they call a nuke. It's like a nucleus. It's a small box with 5 frames, I believe, in them. There's a queen and all workers, and all those frames are going to have baby bees in them. And you bring it home, open it up, and you take those 5 frames of bees, you put them over into your big box. And then you add, my boxes hold 10 frames, so I'd add 5 more empty frames around it, and they'll expand out. And maybe before the end of the summer, you may have to add another box to it, depending on how well they do. And so I'm pretty sure I'll go ahead and get one of those also. They're a lot cheaper. Little work, but it's not bad work. And I think Chef said Jamie wants to get her a beehive, so that'll be awesome. Uh, Jamie may want to get one ready to go. Just buy the box, go home, set it up. Uh, is JB on here? Is JB on here? We'll check on the dates, Jamie, if you're on here. See what about those bees. If you're still interested, that's what Steph was telling me. Uh, I think it'll be fun. And Jamie will have, yeah, there she goes. She's ready to do bees. All right. She'll have fun at it. Jamie will be good at it. Uh, Steph is a pro at it. And Buddy robbed us. The last one's down here, harvested honey out of this last one down here on where Bree keeps her horses. I gave that one to Buddy and them last year because they lost their bees. And I had one hive, and I said, well, I'll just go ahead and get that one. I'll give y'all one. Well, then since then, they had a swarm move into one of their old boxes, so now they got two. That's fine. I don't need over two. One's fine, but two would be awesome because sometimes you can kind of, if one's not doing so well, you can kind of boost it up by taking some from this one over here and adding to that one, or vice versa. Certain way to do that, but it'll work. And some people build new hives off of them. They can build, take frames out of one and add a queen to it and sort of hold new hive. Really pretty easy. So bees are good. I like that. Very seldom. I hadn't been stung in a long time. You can get stung. I mean, now and then, you get upset one of them enough to he might buzz you. Uh, uh, Roddy complains about that. Slamming my coffee cup, said it's rude. I apologize, Ronnie. I apologize. How's that, Ronnie? One lady says I slurp, and Ronnie comes along and says I slurp, or maybe somebody else said it too. Slam my cup down. Well, and Will knows. Of all people on here, Will knows why you do that. It's a habit. They hang out in them old coffee shops. Old state troopers hang out in them coffee shops, and they get close to the empty. Well, the waitress naturally gonna look. She's gonna look. That's the kind of attitude they had. And I learned it from them. And donuts, I learned it all from them. Anyway. Yeah, hornets and wasps, they do sting, and they sting bad, and they do it out of anger. Bees do it if they get upset with you, or you into their box, and sometimes they get a little upset because they're just trying to protect their house. A wasp will fly across out there somewhere and see you mowing the yard. I'm gonna get him, And hornets are even worse than that if you get close to them when they're in their nest. Okay, Will wants to know about the knee pads we got Saturday on Gifts and Goodies. Yeah, they get. I guess they're nice even for G. Will, they ain't gonna fit me. If they did, what would I do with them? I can't get down on my knees. There are people in this world. Y'all bet them. That are watching every move you make, every move, and they say something about it. Worked this lady at school. Had a real good dear friend named Archie Enlow. And Archie's an older guy. He's passed away now. And we'd be taking a coffee break, and this lady would come in and sit there. And someone would get up and leave, she'd talk about him. She may have been real friendly with them when they sitting there, like Ronnie is to me. Oh, hi, buddy. The minute I turn my back, that's why people, Will same way. And somebody get up and leave, and she'd start talking about him and talk horrible about him. And so one day we had this plan. Archie says, Gene, he says, let's go and get our coffee. And I forget now, I'll leave or you leave first, and we'll see what she says about the other one. So we did. And she had to know all these folks are friends. We go in, we flop down there with our coffee, and I said, I got something to do. Or he said something, and he got up and left. And he had, that door ain't no more closed behind him. So she was known in her neighborhood, and Archie lives on that same road she lived on. And she was known in her neighborhood being like that and running the roads constantly. She stepped down the road constantly. And Archie was telling about his boys used to call her road mama. A road mama. It'd make her angry. So evidently somebody told her to her face. And there's another old boy worked there with us that lived on that same road, and he was innocent of this whole thing. And so I come in, and she wasn't there yet, and nobody there. And I wrote on the chalkboard, "Road Mama," and went on out. She come in and saw that, and she caught that little boy out there and just chewed his butt out. I couldn't say nothing. It's too late to say anything then. You know, it's too late. It's too late to stop it. I just sat back and grinned. Watch him get roasted. Oh, he cussed me out for it. It was all in fun. Good morning, Dot. Dot's praying. Pray for Dot. Dot's got Dot's got a client needs prayers. Okay, Dot. Dot takes care of, I'm not sure exactly how many folks, but this home health stuff, she's on the road 7 days a week. 7 days a week, and plus runs a farm. She's an awesome woman to be able to do all this stuff and take care and still do everything she does. Got to appreciate her. And yeah, we pray for your clients, Dot. Good Lord, take care of them. Amen. Okay. Thank you, Ronnie. I don't think everybody has honeybees, Ronnie. Roberta's world. She's a two-time cancer survivor. Tina, my daughter Tina, had breast cancer several years ago. Went for her scan. She does a scan yearly and come back clean. She's so overall excited, you know. Thankful for that. I had a friend of mine here last night come by get some eggs. Dustin said he didn't need none. Everybody around there's got chickens with eggs, and over at Dan's last night they had a bowl of eggs that big. So I called her and said, "Bud, you guys need some eggs? I got some." I sure do. He said he comes, he runs over. We sat here on the porch and talked for a long time, and he was telling me that. Now I don't know. I'm not prescribing anything here, guys. But he's telling me something he took one time. They thought he had cancer, and he took it. And when he went back for his scan the second time, it was all gone. He said, "I'm a firm believer in it." Well, I don't know. It's an animal medicine. I said, you get sick enough, you just take anything. But it didn't work. And the second time he said, I think he told me he had COVID. And they sent him home, and he had some of that medicine left. He took it. He said, in 2 days, it was gone. He said, "I'm a firm believer in it." And that's okay, but I think he has to get it in India or somewhere. So I don't know what he's taking. It may not be the same thing it says on the package. Who knows? Never know about these old home remedies. They got books out there about them, you know, stuff you can take for different things. I'd get out here looking around, and I'd probably take the wrong medicine or take the wrong weed. No, not smoking it. I'd probably take the wrong thing, get sick or worse. And Ronnie, Ronnie don't know anything about medicine like that, folk medicine. He'd end up using poison ivy for toilet tissue or something like that, and it could be bad. So yeah, you have to be careful. If you know these folks that know these plants, that's one thing. If you don't know them, you better learn them. uh, yeah, a lot of folks use home remedies all the time. They do. Uh, and there are some home remedy books out there. They sure are. Uh, Sue was telling me about one there. I couldn't see what all it said, but yeah, I named little Owen after Karen Owen. Guys, well, all you guys bless us. We're blessed by every one of y'all. But he had to have a little boy name, and Ronnie wanted me to name him after him, and I'm thinking I didn't want to name little boy goat Puddles. That just didn't sound right. And he said, well, that's my nickname, named after me. He kept saying Puddles, and I said no. And then he said, no, I meant my real name, Ronnie. I said, well, I could name him Ronnie, but first we'd been talking about even the little girl out there, maybe keeping that little girl. And I said, I don't want to name a girl Ronnie, although I know a girl named Ronnie. I think her real name is Veronica, but she goes by Ronnie. But I couldn't get off that Puddles. I didn't want to name anything Puddles. Puddles. Puddles, Neil, how you doing? I can see it. I can see it now in the room, in the classroom. Puddles. What's the answer to 2 and 2? 6 or 8, something like that. Owen's an awesome little guy. On my video you'll see tomorrow, if you watch it, he's out in the pasture and he's bouncing around out there in that pasture like he knows what he's doing with the other goats. And I called him over to the fence and I taught him a bad lesson. I taught him how to crawl through that fence to me, and I shouldn't have done that. Hopefully he don't remember, because Karen learned it on her own. And then we went back to the river, or back here to the camp for a while and hung out together. He is an awesome little goat, and he's been dehorned now. He's not going to grow no horns. His next little surgery will be when he gets a little bit older. He'll be neutered, and he won't grow up like an old buck goat like his brother Buck. He won't grow up stinking. So bucks, we call them billy goats half the time. Billy goats or male goats, they're pretty nasty. It'd be kind of like probably, well, they're just nasty. Just say it that way. I don't want to describe what all they do. They do some nasty things, and then they smell bad. And I'd go out there and sit out there, and here come that old big boy, and them out there when they want to love all over you and rub on you. And I'd come to the house, and she'd say, "You guys take those clothes off, take a shower. You smell like a goat." Okay, well, I've been with my goats. How you like that, Ronnie? I sit on a napkin. I don't really sit on a napkin. Sit like that. We talked about Jack last night. Jack roosted out here in one of these pine trees. But Jack, I didn't know Jack made the circle every day. He goes all the way down to Kim's and eats also. Him and what's her name? Teresa. They go all the way down to Kim's. They eat breakfast out here. And then he wanders around over behind Dan's, and last night they was on Dan's porch eating dog food. Him and Teresa. So yeah, he gets plenty to eat wherever he goes. And Kim said, yeah, they come to my house every day and eat. Jack, he's no more of a mooch than everybody else that comes out here. But yeah, he's a mooch. He's a mooch. But he's a pretty mooch. He's pretty. Jack is a beautiful bird, and he's Fans out, you know, tell. Wind's blowing in the day. Every time he'd fan out, it'd blow him around. It'd blow him around. It's like a sail. Uh, yeah, well, man, we are talking about me and I having a lot in common. We got a lot in common. Uh, 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 I'm over that Ivan, I think, out in the big pasture today. He wants out there so bad, and if I have the time in the afternoon, I got so much going on this morning. Uh, I got a couple of things I want uh, Ben to help me with, and then this afternoon I may let all of them out and take them back to the back after Ben gets through what he's going to do. I've got some chores to do. Uh, tell you what, tell you right now, I'm getting something I'm really happy to get, and it's going to be so useful to G and I. It's one of these, it's being kind of gifted. It's one of these collaboration deals. I know a lot of you folks don't like, you know, these kind of things. These, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show it in use. It's a solar generator, and it's a very nice one. And all I have to do is make a video showing different kinds of just kind of things you can use with it. You know, I mean, these things you can take them. You got some kind of outing at night out there and set it out there and put light bulbs, string them out. You know, the biggest thing I like about them is if the power goes off at night, I don't have to go out there and get one of my little Honda generators and gas can and extension cords and all that kind of stuff. And middle of the night, rain or whatever, cold, whatever, and drag it up here and get it all going. You know, and make sure I get that far enough I don't get no fumes in the house. These things, you set them right there on the floor. You know, they're in the house with you. You just sit there on the floor and plug in whatever you want to plug into it. No fumes and nothing. And they run for hours and hours and hours. You like that. So I'm excited to get it, and I'm going to make a video of it. Hope you guys will watch it and like it, and then comment about how nice it is. Those folks watch our videos also. And don't say negative things, Ronnie. Will, don't y'all be ugly. Because it's something G and I can use when my power goes out. You know, ain't gonna, you know, if it's extended, you know, you might need more power in the house. You know, that's fine. You have time to go get gas. You have time to do all these other things to do. You know, but this here is just really nice, and get the solar panel, and you can have continuous power coming in. You know, at least if it's sunny, you could. But anyway, I want to do a video one day this week with it. Now I hope you guys will like it. I don't know exactly what day, and hopefully it'll be one day I can have Ben to help me, and it'll be a nice video. So I got a lot on my plate this week. A lot going on. Yeah, I see. It's not a Jackery. It's a different brand. They sent me a comparisons and stuff, and there'll be a discount on it for anybody of my folks that want to, get one for the month, I think, of April. But we'll get it out early in case someone's interested in it. It's supposed to be comparable with all of them in the same size. Thank you, Vera. I hope I got a lot of super fans out there. Watkins products. I don't know about Watkins, and I'm guessing. What was that product that was kind of like a tier type thing that people sold? Was it Amway or something like that? Maybe not Amway, something like that. But there were people selling, house to house, and they would get other people to sell farming, and that kind of they end up getting like a commission off each one down below. And Y'all, don't y'all pull Vera into y'all's corruption. She's so sweet. Uh, okay, Amway. Okay, Amway. I use one of them, something like that. Uh, and back in the day, way back, they still do it in some places. They had these old coffee companies that brought coffee, what, community or something like that, from had their own route. They'd stop and sell coffee at different places. And that's where my old grandpa got his coffee. I remember me sitting on the porch with him. And the little van drive up. The guy got in, knew exactly how much they wanted, and he'd get out with 2 or 3 cans of coffee or whatever. And they'd pay him, and away he'd go. He had her like a regular route. Uh, anyway, Watkins went out of business, okay? And also there's, what was the perfume stuff they sold, house to house stuff? Uh, these ladies will come to your house selling all these nice smelling perfumes and stuff. I can't remember the name of it. Uh, Avon, thank you, Patty. Avon, yes, they come to the house, and I guess you can still get that in different places, I guess. Avon, it sure was. And we had a neighbor that sold it locally. She'd come and take your order, and deliver your Avon to you. I didn't get none. I didn't get none. G got some, I think. And maybe back in the day, my mom got some from her. I can't remember. Yeah, a lot of those sales like that came to your house. Well, yeah, yeah. Ding dong, Avon calling. That sound like Ronnie. Ding dong, Ronnie's here. Oh, ding dong, all right, for sure. Uh, I was talking to Jim, Sweet Jimmy, yesterday, and he said trying to put up his greenhouse, putting plastic on it, and the wind was blowing, and it really needed a lot of help. And I said, you should have called Ronnie. And he's better off by myself. Uh, but I'm gonna try to put one day this week the little greenhouse that Dorothy sent me together, and I'm gonna put it out here, keep it in my little garden section area, my little section there, out of the weather until I need it. Then I can sit it out in the sunshine, put a light bulb in it, whatever I want to do, or a little heater or something in it, when I start my plants. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna keep it out there. It'll be out of the weather. It ain't gonna get blowed around or something. Tore into it, and it's gonna be awesome next year when I start my plants, my little seedlings, for sure. And G may want to borrow it later on for her big plants, maybe when the weather starts getting the cold weather. Uh, she already took me out of my room. But we moved our we moved our birds in there by that window. Most all them flowers. And the little birds, you ain't never heard birds talk as much in your life. Them 2 little old parakeets. I was sitting there the other night. My rocker's still there, and I'm sitting there reading, and they were just chattering in my ear. And it already got dark, so I know it wasn't something outside they're seeing. They love the plants all around them. I guess they feel like they're in the woods or something, or in a jungle or something. That's what I feel like. I'm back in the jungle, looking around and stuff. Uh, okay, someone works for Avon. Okay, that's awesome. Uh, thank you, Sharon. That's very sweet. Hit the like button. Uh, I don't know anything about this bird flu anyway. I ain't heard it. It hadn't affected our birds. Uh, I heard people say, "Watch out for dead birds." I haven't seen a dead bird. I hadn't seen a dead bird nowhere. I don't know if that bird flu moves around or what. Then you see all these things on Facebook. Facebook's all true. These articles, that It may have been a hoax. Somebody, maybe not on Facebook, but on Google or whatever. Uh, may have been a hoax. Those chickens may have been put down for no reason or whatever. Just on and on and on. You never know what you're going to read, you know. Uh, but I have not seen any dead birds in this part of around this way anywhere. Everything's still active, still going. Hello, Lisa. Good morning, Lisa. Uh, hello, Mans. Mans ought to be going to work here pretty shortly. She can only stay for a little while. Good morning, Dana. Linda. Oh, William and Ronnie, they should feel the love. Everybody loves them. They just don't have to deal with them like I do. But I love them. I love them both. Sorry, Lord. uh, Walmart had no eggs. Well, I'm being blessed right now, folks. I'm gonna tell you right now. We got, you know, Bree gave me that one old hen last year, and I'm guessing she's still laying. And you know, we hatched off some eggs, and I bought some little chicks, some little black star chicks. I think I bought 10, and I think I've got eight left. A couple of them died in this little, but we've got 10 hens, and we're getting anywhere from 6 to 8 eggs a day. So a couple of them are either holding out or they're laying somewhere else. They're running loose, so there's never no telling. I know Bree's chickens lay everywhere, evidently, because I'll be out there at the garden and here come Buster, bring him an egg. He done found an egg. And it's somewhere around there in my barn. He don't go over in their hen house. It's somewhere right there around my barn. There's bound to be an old hen laying. Funny thing was, she can't catch them now. They scatter out at night and just go everywhere. So she's just said, I'm just going to start over. Start over. Went out to get packages one night, and there's this old hen in there with the packages. Up on that table, he's sitting there. Okay. Next day, went out there to get something. There's an egg laying out there, so she's paying her rent with an egg a day, I guess. But so we get 6 to 8 eggs a day, and G and I don't near eat that many eggs. Coda Bear likes scrambled eggs. And you know, we cook eggs on the weekend, and I may boil some eggs during the week, you know, a few. She has that little egg, they'll hold 7 eggs, and that thing's awesome. Put them in there, put a little bit of water, and hit the little button, and it'll tell you when they're done, and they'll be done. So we do 7 eggs, it'll last us all week, and put them in the fridge, you know, for boiled eggs. But Coda Bear sometimes wants a boiled egg. So anyway, we had plenty of eggs. So that's why they accumulated, and I had those last night extra. So that's why I called my neighbor over there. I said, "Hey, if you want some eggs, come get them, bud." And they don't have no chickens, so here he comes. He's happy to get them. Because like you say, you go to Walmart, and they may be almost out, or they're expensive, or wherever you go, you know, they may be out, or they're expensive. Anyway, oh yeah, and the little goat named Owen, yeah, and his little brother, a lady told me, she says, well, you should name him Buck for Buck Owen. Remember the old singer Buck Owens? And so I've been calling him Buck. And the funniest thing about them two little guys is that they know they're brothers, and they hang together all day long. And the only time Owen would leave him, he's going to hang out with his PawPaw. Well, naturally, you know, he's sweet PawPaw. He got to hang out with sweet PawPaw if he can. Oh, man. Is Sweet Bill leaving us? Or Sweet Vera leaving us, one or the other. Uh, They're close. They are close. And they I went out last night. I was gonna leave Owen out last night. I told y'all, I closed Ivan and Gidget off, and just to be safe. Although they don't bother him not at all, and Ivan's very careful about not. Actually, the goats don't lay out there on the ground where Ivan would walk anyway. They're up on the tables. There's tables in there, and they get up on it. Uh, but I went out last night, and I was going to leave Owen out with his brother, and I went out and I peeked over the fence so I could see in there real quiet like, and they laying over together side by side. I said, okay, good. And I already gave him his night bottle. So I went back in watching TV for a while and fixed to go to bed. And I said, I'm going to check on him one more time. So I went out the back door real quiet like with all the goats, that time right in their little yard area. It was a mild night, and they're all out there, little ones and all. And I didn't see him, so uh-oh. So I'm looking, it's hard to see him in the dark. I didn't want to make a big showing and have him, wake everybody up. So I'm looking, and I hear he comes walking along the fence, and he saw me. Oh, he got all excited, and I had to sit there and love on him for a little bit on the back patio. But when I got ready to put him up, I went ahead and put him in the back of his crate, and that way I could sleep better, knowing he's not going to be, walking out there in that yard somewhere during the night. And what if his mama don't, keep up with him, and he just got a little worry. So I went back out, got him, and put him in his little crate. He's fine. See you, Diana. Have a good day, sweetie. You gotta get ready for work. You have a good day. Yeah, some of us work, Diana. There's people like Bill, or Sweet Bill, I think I'm calling him now, Sweet Bill. Instead of Sweet William, Sweet Bill, and Sweet Ron, they don't work. They lay up there and play on this keyboard all day long. Will may not ever go back out in the fields and work. He got a son out there doing all of it work for him. If I had somebody do all my work, I wouldn't even get up. It'd be like Ronnie, lay up there in the bed with Taco, little Taco. I love calling Ronnie, and I hear his wife Diane in the background because she just don't let him get by with nothing. And he's laying in there one night, propped up, talking this big talk, and she must have heard him. Talking down to me. And she comes in and gets on to him. And then before she left the room, she says, if you want to eat, Ronnie's always talking about how she brings his food to him. And big plates. You want to eat? It's in here. You can come get it. What? I loved it. Okay, Anna Maria Piazza. I got that down, don't I? I got it down. What I got Ben for? Yeah. Ben likes to work with his PawPaw. I like for Ben to work with PawPaw. I slurped. I told Ben, I said, this summer, bud, we got some things we got to do first to get things caught up around here, I want to build another raised bed out here. And thinking about how I want to do it, I had to talk to Logan about on that fence. But I may build it on that fence anyway, but it's not attached to the fence, I don't think it'd be a problem anyway, but I might do it. I might build one over there. But I'm not through out there with raised beds. And we got some stuff to do there. Eventually, we're going to take that old barn down. That old barn's going to come down before it blows down. It's been repaired so many times. I don't want nobody now up on the roof no more. It was an old barn when it was put there. I've told y'all before, it was an old chicken barn we tore down and brought it here. And it's got to come down. I told Ben, so I want you to give me a couple of days a week. You come over here, you don't come too late. You get out there early because it's summertime, it'll get hot. And you give me 2 good days a week out there tearing that barn down. So get it down, we can put up some kind of a loafing shed or something back out there for cows to get on. There's only a few cows, so they don't need a big area. We used to store hay in there. You couldn't store hay in there no more, but we used to, and so it could come in handy being as the size it was. You know, some square bales. You put a lot of square bales in there, but we don't do that no more. So, went down. You guys probably saw. I got one bale of hay from Lester the other day, and I put in there for Ivy and them. They eating on it, and the goats. And I don't think we're gonna need no more hay this year. And the other cows in the back are eating hay at all. So, and we had a big family discussion last night at Dan's. We have these family discussions down there, and the kids used to. She would call. I forget. She called it family conference or something like that, a family meeting or whatever she'd call. We're gonna have a family meeting. Oh, no. It went all our little family, G and I and all of our kids, Lester, Kim, Tina, Dan, all gather around and we'd talk about things we wanted to do something better. You know, and usually it's kind of directed at me. There would be these 5 faces looking at me. Yeah, you need to do better. And but we would. It would get our plans set up what we was gonna do. Family conference. And then now and then she would call for a barn cleaning. You know, all the kids hated me for that. No, we gotta go clean the barns for Dad. Dad'd be there. Dad'd be there. Dad worked. Dad worked hard. Back in those days, I was very seldom home. I worked for the sheriff's office and we just gone all the time. But yeah, them kids. But we was having this family conference last night at Dan's and about all that old stuff back there, old metal pile and stuff. It gets people go back and they don't put it in a pile. They, you know, and I'm not gonna say who, different ones. They just throw something, you know, metal because the metal bin is full. They throw something over here, and somebody else that come back with something else. They put it over here, and it gets nasty looking back here. So we're gonna go back and have a big clean up one day. Take all of our tractors back there, and everybody's gonna have to come and help out. And Steph and Bud said, yeah, they'd be there. I got a bunch of old bee boxes I put up back there last year, and I told Bud, I said, Bud, y'all want these bee boxes? Come get them. Not, you know, I'm not gonna use this many bee boxes no more. And he forgot to tell Steph. So I told her last night, I said, I guess y'all don't want them. We're gonna probably burn them. Oh no, don't burn them. I'll come go through them. I said, okay. Burn what you don't want. I'm not gonna use that many bee boxes no more, you know. So I want to come in late. We're glad to have you, regardless how late you might be. The other case is chickens don't stand a chance there. They got too many foxes and coyotes and stuff. We have them here too, sweetie. Not as bad maybe as you have. These woods over here by Logan's, there's a coyote comes up in there now and then. My chickens are penned up every night. They go in every night and they're penned up. I worry about them during the day because they're free ranging, and they go all out to pasture and stuff. And I worry about them, but you know I don't like keeping them penned up in a small pen. And so we're taking a chance with them. If something, as long as nothing's bothering me during the daytime, hawks or anything, we'll try to let them do that. If something gets too bad on them, you know, and starts trying to get them, then we'll maybe have to pin them up. I don't want to. So that's our plan right now on our chickens. And I count them. Here comes the little girl. So I think we got maybe all 3 of them today. Bay, we may have Bay too. Jill has a doctor's appointment, and so she didn't put the kids in school today. So we're gonna keep them, and oh, they'll be a pain in the butt. You know it. You know, little kids, little girls. Birthday party yesterday, Little Cash had such a great time. That'll be for y'all's next Sunday video. She got in this little box of, it's a big transformer, I guess, you know. We never played that kind of game. We played real stuff, you know, cowboys and Indians, stuff like that. And rode stick horses. That's the kind of stuff we did. But she got a big transformer, and inside little spaces are little transformers. And as the first thing he opened, good morning. And he had all scattered on the floor. Nobody else touching it, and he had the best time. And had other kids saw it open. He didn't have time for all that. Boys, hey, y'all know who that is. Kippy. Tell him, Jill. Good morning, little girl. Where's the other one? Oh, she's in school. Oh, they're in school. Okay, you know, they're in school. All right. I was thinking we were going to have all three of them.
No.
Okay.
You got lucky.
Oh, ain't no trouble. We only got Coda Bear. I forgot the others. I used to be in school. I never played hooky, you know. Hey, tell you a quick story about playing hooky. Buddy of mine, remember the old country stores? The old country stores where they had the old wood heater in there, you know, the wintertime stuff. Well, his mom and dad, now and then, would let him miss school. He was a senior in high school. And she let him miss school and run the store. And he'd call me and say, hey, I'm going to be at the store tomorrow. Okay. So I'd make sure if I was driving that day or if I was riding the bus, I got off that store. That's where I stopped at. My mom never come looking for us, you know. Good, honest kids. And we'd go in and we'd eat bologna sandwiches and knick-knack on chips and stuff all day long. Then that evening, time to go home, I'd take off home. Catch the bus as it come by or drive home, whatever. Well, one day, the principal got wind of it. I don't know how somebody snitched on us, you know. So he called my mom and he says, I wasn't at school that day. And some of the kids said I'd got off at the store. So we're sitting in there having the best time in the world. And my buddy says, oh, there's your mama, there's your mama. So I take off and had like a little restroom and kitchenette, what do you call it, in the back. It had a curtain. I run back and pull that curtain. A senior in high school. I had from his mama. She kind of says, where's Gene? I know he's here. Just where's he at? Right on. He ratted me out. He ratted me out. Oh, we had some good times. We had some good times. Have a good day, sweetie.
Y'all too.
Anyway, there are a lot of those stories like that, you know. And back in the day, we'd go to have ag meetings sometimes at night. And we would go, us guys here in Plum Grove, there was like 5 of us in ag. And someone would drive, we'd all ride together. You know, no need driving 5 cars up there or something, you know. A couple of them didn't have cars. I had an old car, but my neighbor next door over here, Richard, that's just spam. We ain't gonna worry about spam. We ain't gonna worry about spam, folks. Exactly. Spam risk. Uh, anyway, we'd go in the car. Went up there one night, and ag meet. It was coming on back in those days. There was nothing on Plum Road. There was one little area they called Snuff Ridge. If you can imagine that having a name like that, Snuff Ridge, well, Plum Grove. Snuff Ridge, and it's because the soil was red, like old Garrett Snuff. Somewhere, at some point, somebody, let's call this, it's real hilly. Just a small stretch of road there, about maybe a couple of miles. Then it's just woods on both sides, nothing but deep woods, road, county road winding all the way to Plum Grove. About once you passed Snuff Ridge, still had about 8 miles of nothing but just woods, just widow houses off. On a moonlight night, if we went on a moonlight night, you could turn the lights off, see the road clear, and drive that whole 8 miles without lights. Just, you know, if you did see cars coming, very little traffic, turn your lights back on. Crazy, crazy, do stuff like that. Oh, wild times. Yeah, we had the best old times doing that kind of stuff. And sometimes somebody's hit up on the fenders would drive like that. And if they had dangerous that is today, I'd catch my kids doing that, I'd probably bait them. Fried bologna sandwiches. We had that too. We had, I wonder what Lex would think one morning he come in to eat his breakfast. Scrambled eggs, biscuits, and fried bologna. Oh no, what's this? Uh, yeah, there's many a time. We didn't have no bacon all the time, or ham or something like that. Our breakfast would be sometimes fried bologna. Nothing wrong with it. Someone said, "What's bologna?" Whoa, 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 whoa. We don't know what's in it, but it's good. It's good. Uh, I can't tell you what all's in it. Just all kinds of beef and pork and chicken parts or whatever, all ground up and mashed together. It sounds nasty, don't it? But it's pretty good stuff. Guys, it's been here over an hour. I'm gonna cut it off. Okay, man's in English and she don't know what bologna is. Well, if you ever come to America, sweetie, you're gonna get some bologna. Fried bologna and fried green tomatoes. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. I can eat fried bologna. It's not my favorite, but I sure can eat it. Fried spam, yeah. Uh, it's funny. Stick bologna and cheese. Yeah, the old stores. The old stores. You go in and you only need a pound of bologna or 10 pound, whatever. They come in a long old stick, so big around and long. Yep, and then they take it and they slice it. Slice and slice. You got. If you want it thick, you tell them I want a thick slice. They cut that little gauge and they just. Same way with cheese. Be a stick that long, Slice it off for you. Best cheese you could ever get. Good old days. Good old days, guys. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Been here over an hour. You ain't learned nothing. You ain't learned nothing. That's what you tell me. You've been here an hour. You ain't learned nothing. You ain't taught me nothing, teacher. Well, I tried. Okay, I love you guys. Y'all have a great day. Every one of you. Oh yeah, Jumbo Jacks. Oh yeah, Jumbo Jack. Jumbo Jack. Breakfast Jacks. I love that loaded breakfast sandwich I have. That's what I made at the camp that time. Woo, they're good. Yeah, they had that old red rind on it. You need to peel that off. It'd go all the way through you if you didn't. I'm glad you guys are here, Marie. Thank you, Amy. Y'all have a blessed day, guys. Every one of you, okay? You too, Ronnie. You too, Sweet Bill. Y'all make me sick. Y'all make me sick, you too. I love you guys. Catch you guys later, okay? And when I make that video of that generator, make sure I love you, okay?